ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानमधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्।
त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धु च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव।
गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे
I'd like to welcome you to our annual temple banquet. I'm Dr. Sanjay Rao. I'm going to be your MC for the evening. I'll try to keep the program moving. This has been a labor of love for, I think, all the trustees of the temple, and certainly my family for the last 15 years or so. So hopefully you'll enjoy the program. This young gentleman is definitely enjoying the program, so. So our first order of business, and I wanted to introduce our prayer group, consisting of students from the Balaji Vidya under the able guidance of Jayashree and her team of teachers. So let's have them come up and start the program.
Could we please request that we stand for the Indian National Anthem, and volunteers, if you want to please join us.
Punjab
that I'd like to share with you is really sort of epitomized by that first group, which is youth involvement. And so throughout the evening, the trustees will certainly share their vision of how to bring the younger generation more involved into the temple. So please keep that in mind. Obviously, there are lots of opportunities for kids to become involved in the temple. That first group in particular, but the summer camps that we have, the math camps. So again, that's one of the things that we want to emphasize tonight. I'd like to introduce next Dr. N.S. Rao, who happens to be my father, Vice Chairman of the Board of Trustees, former retired surgeon, and he is also the former chairman of the temple, and this is his 18th year as vice chairman.
Thank you, Sanjay. You made us proud. Vasudha Narayan and all our guests, welcome. We are delighted to have you here to participate and share in the 29th Annual Appreciation Banquet of Sri Balaji Temple of Greater Chicago. Thank you for coming. Many of you traveled long distances, serves to remind us all just how important our work is. Many of you have made a huge effort to join us today. On behalf of all of us, we deeply appreciate and offer you our most grateful welcome. Let me hear a big applause for all of you for coming here. I don't hear it. We are very delighted to have you here. SVS Balaji Temple has been in existence for nearly 30 years. It opened its doors to the devotees for worship, participation in social and cultural gatherings. This appreciation banquet showcases the activities of the temple for the year 2014, and you shall hear from our chairman, Mr. Naidu, very shortly. I don't want to take his thunder away. In conclusion, I'd like you all to relax, enjoy the evening with dance, music, and a sumptuous dinner, for which the team of volunteers, the management, and the Board of Trustees have worked so hard to bring you all here. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dad. Next, I'd like to introduce you to a man who needs no introduction. Anybody who knows Mr. Naidu knows that he can be heard from around the world. And he's often on the other side of the world, so we can still hear him. So this is very special. This is his first year as chairman of the temple, and he's done a wonderful job. I think his job is very challenging because obviously he has a thriving business in India and his children are involved in that business, but he still manages to commit himself to the benefit of the temple. And again, he'll reiterate some of the themes that we'd like to share with you tonight, which is really getting young people involved in the temple and sharing that cultural experience with them. So with no further ado, Mr. Naidu.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A respectable guest speaker, Vasudha Narayan, who is the professor of religion at the University of Florida, my fellow distinguished Board of Trustees, and the various devotees of this temple, friends, and fellow citizens. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I am delighted to see you all here, welcome you all here, and I am very happy a reasonably good crowd is here. Before I brief you all about the temple status and activities, I like to recognize some people who have been working for the benefit of the temple night and day. First, I'm going to call the chairpersons of the various committees, religious committee, the Vaishnava side of Ranganathan, could you please stand up? Maybe you all hold your hand, claps until I call on the names. Cyber side, Sundar and Srinivasan. Cultural committee, Usha Pariti. Youth activities, Jaisri Parthasarari. Volunteers, Anu Gotri, Vardis cannot be here. Finance, Radhika. Steering committee, Ramesh Chittu. Food committee, Dr. Durga Prasad. Banquet committee, Dr. Bharat. Now I request all the volunteers who are involved in the temple, please rise. All the volunteers in every committee, give them a big hand. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the people, they work there every weekend, every function, night and day, from cleaning the floor, taking the garbage, you name it, they will do it. You don't even have to tell them, they know how the situation develops, they will take over. I am delighted. Ladies and gentlemen, we are fortunate. Some of the guys, they spend hundreds and hundreds of hours. Even you put a minimum wage, it will work $50,000 a year. They are dedicated for us. They are serving for our community, and we are all thankful. And I personally thank them. Without them, I cannot get so many things done. Thank you, guys. Now, as you all know, the beauty of our temple is, even someone who comes first time to our temple, they feel comfortable, they feel at home, they don't feel they come to a strange place. That is the beauty of the temple. And our volunteer will talk to them, our trustees will talk to them, our committee people will talk to them, our priests will talk to them. And I'm very proud of that. Many people have told me, Naidu, when I come to your temple, I feel at home. That's a great achievement. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad to say, your temple is in good hands. So I thank our board of trustees. They have contributed enormous amount of their money and time and brought it to this stage. And I thank them for giving me the opportunity to be your chairman this year. I thank you them from my bottom of my heart. Now, regarding the temple activities and the status, I am going to give you very brief. We have prepared a video clip with the slides that will speak itself. So I just want to mention to you, this year especially, we see a tremendous amount of increase in attendance, which shows in our income also. I mean, really tremendous amount of devotees are coming here. Ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, Saturdays, wall-to-wall jam-packed, there is not even a place to move around. And yesterday is a Friday, I was there. Believe me, there was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. By the time I got home, it is 10 o'clock, because I want to make sure nobody goes home hungry from our temple. And we did everything possible to Today I can't go, but my friends told me it is unbelievable crowd. Unbelievable crowd, that's the word. Not because I want to boast you, because I am the chairman, because the crowd comes. That's not true. There are so many chairmen who work for so many years. So this is the many, many years of hard work has brought up this to this status. So we all should be proud of it. I'm telling you, this is going to be the best temple outside India you have ever seen. You wait for it. Now, I want you to see this slide and the video clip, and you will see our activities. Thank you very much. Please watch. Can somebody dim the lights, please? Can you take the lights on, please? I'm sure you are amazed the number of functions and the grand manner we do. Ladies and gentlemen, nobody in the world can do this Tepa. Nobody in the world can do the Vinayagar Chaturthi like we do. We are blessed with the beautiful lakes, impeccable land, well-maintained lawns, beautiful parking lot. Tell me, where can you find? We are blessed. So I thank the original founders and the board of directors for the great thing they have done for this community. Let's give a big hand. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not only religion. Did you see our outside activities? They have children classes, summer camps, music classes, instrumentation. We encourage the artists. We are probably the only temple in the United States. We encourage the Carnatic music people even if we don't make money. Because that is an art, that is a culture, which goes with the religion. We should not let it die. And I thank Usaparati for her tireless effort on this. Let's give a big hand to her. Now, my friends, like I told you, as you have witnessed, the temple is crowded. We need more space. We know we need more facilities. So we are working very hard, developing a plan for further expansion. We are taking our time to make sure this time we take into account all the requirements as much as possible. We are going to have the widest consultation on this project. I am working on that with other friends. By end of this month, we will present the plan. The new plan, hopefully, we will make arrangements so that you, the devotees, will try to enter the temple through our main stairs in the front. And then we are going to have a nice separate Pakka auditorium, maybe 700-800 feet capacity, a beautiful dining hall, an indoor beautiful home. You name it, we are going to have it. This will be the temple in the world where everything is under one roof, in one location, a beautiful 70 acres of land. But I need your help. This is a very big project. We don't know how much, probably in the neighborhood of 5 million or something. We need your support. I am not here today to thank you for money or anything, but keep your wallets open, we are coming. And we need your help. You know, my friends, this is a community project. We all have to be proud of. We have what, 200,000-300,000 people here, everybody $10, the matter is over. We have to have that kind of spirit. You must motivate your friends. We as a community, which is way above the middle class, if we unite together, we can move mountains, my friend. So motivate the people. We took tremendous effort to assemble this gathering here. I like to see next year, we double this. Every one of you bring one more friend next year. That is our goal. We have to have that spirit. So with that, I am concluding my speech. Now, I like to recognize, though all the volunteers are fantastic, out of them every year we recognize some people because they just show like a jewel. So the first gentleman is Mr. Anu Angotri. And he is a tireless volunteer. He will do any kind of work you can think of. Photography, video, television, anything, communication, everything. And Dr. Rao will give the plaque. This guy is unbelievable, I'm telling you. He never wants title, he never wants any recognition. He's a great worker. Rao? The next, this lady night and day works to make sure our cultural activities live. You know, it's not joke, my dear friends. You bring these artists from India, you come from the airport, somebody wants milk at night, 12 o'clock, you know, you have to put up in some houses, somebody says, I need vegetable biryani. You have to say, this is, I have gone through this, it's a very tough job. So we are fortunate to have Usha Parti to lead our cultural committee. She is doing a wonderful job. So this award goes to Usha Parti. And Dr. Ramraj is going to award this book. Usha is here. Bring the people, sell the tickets. I like it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. One more in the last.
Thank you. And the last one is, she is also doing tremendous amount of work. She is handling our youth. She conducted classes, summer camp, bhajans. Unbelievable lady. You have no idea how much activities goes on in our temple. Last summer we had 98 kids. You do not take any more people. We said, no, we cannot take it. That's how much these people, you know, if you take a summer camp, you know, 1 week is 98 kids to keep them busy, you can imagine. She's doing a wonderful job. Her name is Jaysri Parthasarathi. So let's make a trustee will give the award. Suresh? Jaysri is here? Yeah, come on. She loves kids. I got 2 grandkids, boy, they drive me crazy. Thank you. I think with this we conclude it. Now, just thought this is the last time we have done with this. We have developed our website, the most comprehensive website. And we are launching our website from now on. You can go into our website, you can get all kinds of information from there. Even if you want to book pujas for your home, you can go online, book what puja you want, what puja you want, what time you want. Everything is online. Any program, anything you want, any Abhishek sponsorship, everything is online. This is a very friendly website, so please make use of it. We are officially launching from this Monday. Everything is developed with up-to-date technology. So is Anu there? And he will give you a small briefing.
Actually, this presentation was supposed to be given by Bhartish, but so I'm here instead. You'll notice a lot less hair, a little bit less height from Bhartish compared to me. So, Will Ganesh has made some screen captures. If you see the monitors that are around, or the projector that's working on this side, this will be the new landing page for the home page. As you can see, it's much more graphic and it's much more interactive also. What you'll see is where the main Balaji photograph is across the top. You'll notice that these are screenshots only because we have, this is not connected to the internet, but you'll see that those pictures will change and then also will advertise upcoming events on the very top location. So you see like it just switched to Venkateshwar Jayanti, which occurred this afternoon. And then once one clicks on a particular event, what happens is that the next page that goes will be a comprehensive listing And on that page, what you'll see is that you'll be able to get all the event details, the timing, the brochure will be available. And this is, for example, the Diwali sponsorship page. And then on the Diwali sponsorship page, you'll see there's a form on the right-hand side along with all the information on the left-hand side. And this is all secure. It's a very secure form. And this is a certificate that's available to see if you care to see the security that's on the website. So we're not storing any of the credit card data or anything that's personal information on the temple website itself. It's actually done by an organization that strictly handles security and all the personal information, so it's a much more secure connection as well. And everything is in one place, as you can see. And then on the next slide, what we have is puja booking requests. So for example, if you bought a new home or if you're coming to temple to do Satyanarayan Puja, you can request both in temple and outside of temple services. And within 48 hours of filling the form out, you'll receive a response from somebody at temple to either confirm or help you change the date to see what's the best available time for your function. The next page. The next page is actually, that is, again, the puja booking reservation form. The following page we have it. That's it. That's all the pages we have. So this will be, again, the URL is balaji.org, and that will be available starting on Monday. It will be switched over. And then also the website operates, for example, from a computer or a tablet or a smartphone. It'll operate all, it'll resize and be just as visible on any device that you choose to use the website on. Thank you very much.
Forget your award. So next we're going to have the Religious Committee Chairman introduce our guest speaker.
It gives me great pleasure to introduce Dr. Vasudha Narayanan. Vasudha Narayanan is not a stranger to our temple. She has been watching our temple for many years and how we have grown and how we have evolved. Dr. Vasudha Narayanan is a distinguished professor, Department of Religion at the University of Florida. She has published many papers, very active in research as well. She has written a number of books. Especially there is a Hinduism 101 which talks about basics of Hinduism that you probably want to give it to your children or your grandchildren. It's extremely well explained in basic English, and currently she is involved in some other research activities. What she's going to talk about today, she will enlighten us. Role of temples in the society. There are multiple roles that a temple can play, and how the temples and Hinduism fit in a global world. And without saying much more and taking any more time, I would like to welcome Dr. Vasudha Narayanan.
Thank you very much for the privilege of inviting me today to be here on this very auspicious day of Shri Venkatesha Jayanti. I was wondering where I should begin my talk. Of course, the and thank you to the people who invited me. But most of all, I thought I would begin probably with India. And then I thought this country. Then I thought I'd begin with the people who made this temple the grandest temple in this country, the volunteers. It is these people who make this the biggest and the most beautiful temple. The architecture and the iconography is fantastic. But it's these people, the volunteers, all of you, who give soul to the temple. And the person who expressed it best is in the 9th century, Namarwa, who said, if they are the servants of servants who are mingled in the service of the Lord, who bears the chakra in his hand, his body dark as blue sapphire, they are our masters. And all of you, the volunteers, are our masters. Namarwa goes on to say, these are my masters, those who are the servants of the servants of the servants of the Lord, of my Lord, my Father. They are my masters. So thank you for making this the best and the most authentic temple in this country. Why do we have temples? Many of our children ask us, why can't we simply pray at home? You say God is everywhere. And we have to distinguish that there are many, many views towards the Hindu temple in our own traditions. Some people think of the Murti as an absolute personification of God. Other people say it's a symbol leading to the divine. And yet other Hindu traditions say we don't need a Murti at all. And all of these are truly Hinduism. What we recognize in this temple is that there are multiple forms of Vishnu, multiple forms of God. One in which the entire universe is his body. That this is called the Divyatma Swarupa. That Vishnu, the all-pervasive one, is the soul of the entire universe. But he also has special bodies. The bodies that he takes, the Divya Mangala Vigraham, that he takes as Rama, as Krishna, and as the Archavatara, the Avatara who is fit to be worshipped in the temple. And that's the Lord, Venkateshwara, is truly, fully God. There are many kinds of murtis. We have just finished Saraswati Puja and Vijayadashmi. And this is a beautiful Saraswati. And you can see the Lakshmi, Lakshmi who rose from the churning of the ocean of milk. And you may ask, where is the Saraswati? Which temple? I haven't seen it. Where is this churning of the milk? It is not in India. It is in this country, and it's in Washington, D.C. This Saraswati is outside the Indonesian embassy, not the Indian, the Indonesian embassy, a country which is 95% Muslim. This churning of the ocean of milk is outside Cambodia. This is the glory, this is the heritage of the Hindu tradition. It's a global religion. And so we ask, what is the role of temples in Hindu life from Angkor to Aurora? Hinduism is a global religion and we are part of that tradition. And Hinduism is a global religion in at least 3 ways. One, we are all here, we're immigrants, and we've gone to many parts, every part of the world. Second, there are people in other countries, like the ISKCON members, Hare Krishna, people in Southeast Asia, like in Cambodia, who adopted Hinduism as their way of life, their preferred religion. And third, Hindu ideas and beliefs have gone to other parts of the world, and they've become disassociated with the word Hindu, and other religions have co-opted them, like Zen Yoga. Zen, as many of you may know, comes from the Chinese word Chan, which comes from the Indian word Dhyana. Hinduism has grown and has become huge, was huge And the Cambodian flag is the only flag in the world which has a Hindu temple on it, Angkor Wat. And that is remarkable. Even Swami Vivekananda, who came here in the 19th century, recognized the importance of a temple, and according to his wishes, after his death, the first Hindu temple was built in San Francisco in 1905 and dedicated in 1906. It was symbolic. Even the entrance had allegorical meanings to the Hindu yogic anatomy. But the temple has multiple roles, just like these motifs that we see in traditional temples, which can be viewed from many, many perspectives. A Hindu temple is devotional. It is our devotional home, the source of our spiritual power. But it has other roles as well. It has political roles. Right from the beginning, from the 8th century, in a Chalukya temple in Aigole, in Karnataka, we find the royal emblems in every temple. There you see the earlier one. We see the Varaha Avatara and the royal symbols. In Chiang Mai, in Thailand, we have the Hindu temple, but before you worship Vishnu and Lakshmi, we have to say the main king and the queen. So every temple has been raised in a particular socio-political context. The Hindu temple of Atlanta may have the Gajastamba, but in front it has the American flag. When we start this function, we had the American national anthem as a piece of trivia here. When we speak about the rockets that blare, if you do some research on it, you'll find out that those rockets were actually made in Karnataka. It was soon after Tipu Sultan's time. So it was one of those interesting themes. Temples were built in many parts to start a new capital city or mark the frontiers of the kingdom in historical times. Thus, Wat Phu, called Linga Parvata, it's in Laos, had one of the biggest Hindu temples in the world in the 5th, 6th century. And in fact, the inscriptions at the time say it was built by Mahendra Varman, who was also called Chitrasena, and the script is in the Pallava script. The political clout of communities who build the temples are important. Namrung is the largest Shiva temple, huge temple, and it was built by a person to show that he who is a faithful servant of a particular king is also got the clout to build a temple. As we grow, we see that our temple in Aurora is very similar in structure, if you can see, to the Phnom Rum temple itself, in this majestic entranceway. The beginnings of the temples are very small. The first ever inscription that we find in Cambodia and Southeast Asia is actually by a woman, a queen called Kula Prabhavati in Cambodia, who in 475 dedicated the whole land to a worship of Vishnu. This is the original inscription that we find of Kula Prabhavati. It is similar in structure to the small beginnings of the Aurora temple when the people bought the land, and we have a list of donors which mark it. These are of historical significance with the board of trustees who steward the temple's resources. From its small beginnings in Aurora, it has grown to this very big, to 2003 to now 2014. This temple is one of growth, and I hope it will always keep growing. The temples also have a teaching role. We learn many stories and philosophies from this. From these temples, we learn the churning of the ocean of milk, stories of Durga. The architecture is designed to make us into a meditative practice. The Shiva temples in Cambodia had 5 floors. Why? Because 5 is sacred to Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, 5 syllables. which are sacred to Shiva. And everything associated with Vishnu had 8 Ashtakshara. The temples were also inclusive, they're non-sectarian, that is including all gods in Cambodia as well as here. So we have in Kalamazoo and other places, as well as in our own Aurora temple, we have all the deities included in the large Hindu family. Temples above all are cultural centers. We see the same vocabulary in iconography and in dance. And more than anything else, this is not simply a cultural center for entertainment. This is intrinsically connected with our religious tradition. This is an embodied form of our knowledge of our knowing Hinduism. We say sometimes, oh, I don't know anything about Hinduism, but we do. Every one of you do. When you see a dance, you know what dance they're doing. It's about Shiva, it's about Parvati. And you know it's an embodied knowledge. It's a different kind of knowledge than other religions in this country, which is more mental, which is belief, which is more focusing on belief. But the Hindus know it as an embodied knowledge, ritual knowledge. When we dance it, we know the story of the god. It's a one-stop shop where they learn music or dance to know all about Hinduism, about the god. And this temple has got it right when they get the children involved in learning dance, performing music. Because through that, they are learning the Hindu tradition. So dance has always been the main way in which we've transmitted our traditions through the centuries, whether it's in Cambodia, Angkor, or Aurora. And it's through this that we learn the stories, we know the gods, we know their positions, and we know the right relationship between older people and younger people. This is how the Hindu culture has been transmitted over and over again to all our children. All these are from our SPS Banquet in earlier years. And we learn the new idioms as we go along. We change because Hinduism is a dynamic religion and we keep with the times. We learn about the positions of Ranganatha because Vishnu means all-pervasive and yet he reclines in the coils of time of Ananta, infinity. So just by this one position in dance or the sculpture, we know that Vishnu is all-pervasive and the master of space and time. What a beautiful philosophy which is brought out through the dance, and this is how we are learning, that we are getting our children involved in the new culture. It also, the temples used to have astronomical purposes which we no longer have. In Udayagiri, as well as in Cambodia, we find that the temples are built on astronomically right places. On spring equinox, for instance, in Angkor, the sun will rise right behind the central spire. And on spring equinox, in the Ocean of Milk, the rising sun will fall on the Kurma Avatara. And during the winter equinox, winter solstice, the setting sun will fall on Bhishma. Why? Because we all know, here's the sun, setting sun, falling on Bhishma. So our temples were built with multiple purposes in mind. And Bhishma gave up his life, as you know, on winter solstice, on the Uttarayana Punya Kala when it began. So the light falls exactly on him on winter solstice. It also has the calendar positions, the measurements of the temples of Angkor Wat. And you can't see this properly, I apologize, but all the measurements equal in years the 4 yugas which are in the Puranas. So someone said the whole calendars of the world can die, but if we have Angkor Wat, that one Hindu temple, all calendars can be reconstructed. Finally, Hinduism in America, we have newer themes, different gender roles. As we see in our own temple here, we adapt traditional activities to newer ones. We have golf, we have picnics, we have students involved in multiple events. Women carrying palakil, volunteer activities, health fairs, we just saw that. For Thanksgiving meals for the homeless, help for the tsunami victims here in Aurora that we did. And Tirumala Tirupati temples had Vriksha Prasadam, an ecological initiative. And this place in Tirumala Tirupati, we have translated in Aurora as saying, let us go green, let's not waste plastic. We are on the right track. So, what about the future? Where are we going? We have to know first that Hinduism is reciprocal. First of all, the temple that we built here with Ganesha, this temple we now see replicated in India. In Chennai, they have a temple called New York Ganapati Temple. And it's in Besant Nagar, in case you'd like to see it. The same company who built this temple, actually, our temple built it there. But where are we going with the future? In the 9th century, in an inscription, a person who donated a lot of money to a Hindu temple in Cambodia, he wrote, anyone who shakes this foundation is guilty of a sin, of doing a sin against a spiritual mentor. We have all given money to our temples here. What is the future of a temple? We have two problems. We have two issues we have to think about. One, who's going to take care of our temples after our times? Second, how do we get our own children involved in our temple activities? Our temple has probably, I've been looking at it academically on all the temples around the country. One of the most complete programs involving SAT classes, dance, folk dancing, kummi, kolatam, all healthcare, the different ways of involving children through performing arts are all here, music, culture. We have to hope that this is embodied knowledge which will come back, which will stick with them like muscle memory throughout their lives. Many people in Atlanta and other temples have lamented, but when the children get married, they disappear. They don't come back to the temple. They go off to secular pursuits. We have to hope that they will come back. Right now, at this point, the people who keep coming back over and over again are our immigrants. The new immigration policy, but what if it changes in this country? We are building these temples for our country, for our own children. So, financially, many temples, and I'm sure your temple is also doing it, Atlanta, Bridgewater and others are reserving 10% of their income towards an endowment for the future, for which the temples can take care of it forever. Second, some of them are looking carefully and legally with public accountants into ideas of life insurances in which the temples can be the beneficiary. They realize it's legally very complex, but they're working on that. So these are the ways, possibly some of the ways in which they're doing it. Last minute, a word about popular culture. Our knowledge of Hinduism has now passed on into popular culture. We find the stories of Obama and yoga all over. But who owns yoga? Is it Hindu? And yet we find it in Jewish institutions, we find it in Christian institutions, Zen, and other places. And some people say real men do yoga, it's seen as fitness. Some people do Star Wars yoga. And others. And White House, as part of the Easter hunt, has a yoga festival. And so the White House said about it that yoga has become a universal language of spiritual exercise. So what we have to understand is that Hinduism has multiple languages. One is the universal language, and through that we reach out. And the second is our own temple, our own language, through which we go back home to our temple and realize that our temple is the spiritual storehouse. And from Angkor to Aurora, our tradition has carried on and will carry on with all our efforts, combined efforts. Thank you.
Things that we've been thinking about over the last year in perspective. So we have one more program that we wanted to do before dinner begins, and so I'm going to have Usha Parinthi come up and introduce the dance program, and then we'll be at dinner.
Namaskaram, my name is Usha Parinthi, and on behalf of Sri Balaji Temple Cultural Committee and our co-chair Dr. Vijay Susarla, we welcome you all for this evening's cultural segment. We'll begin the program with a traditional musical performance. It's printed incorrectly as a dance performance. It's actually a traditional musical performance from the state of Kerala. This is being presented by Chicago Kalakshetra Group. Chicago Kalakshetra is a non-profit organization that aims to promote and preserve Hindu temple art forms of Kerala, India, and foster goodwill and harmony amongst each other. Panchavadhyam is the essential part of the Kerala temple tradition. This maiden is considered as a Devavadhyam, and most of the instruments are played inside the temple or in front of the Sri Koval. The performers are Ajit Bhaskaran, Anil Nair, Anup, Girish, Jayaprakash, Jayakrishnan, Jay Madhavan, Midhun Ajikumar, Prashant, Roshan, Roy, Srijit, Srihari, and Vidul. Please welcome the Chicago Kalakshetra Group presenting the Panchavadhyam musical performance. Thank you.
Who are responsible for the website. Special thanks go to Mr. Ganesh Salai, Rajesh Gunasekaran, and Mr. Guru Prasad. So we're going to try to do the tables in an orderly fashion. There are actually 3 buffet stations. So starting with tables 1 through 5, you're going to go to the buffet station on the left. 21 through 28 can go to the buffet station in the middle, and 38 through 34 goes to the buffet station on the right.
నీ అందమే దాగినే